미국 대학을 만나다 특별 에피소드에 오신 걸 환영합니다. 저는 여러분과 함께 미국의 컬리지와 대학교를 탐방했는데요. 제가 방문했던 많은 학교가 숨겨진 아이비 또는 그만큼 유명하진 않지만 교육의 질과 학생들에게 제공하는 경험 모두 아이비리그 학교와 견줄 수 있는 높은 순위의 컬리지와 대학교였죠. 그 과정에서 저는 숨겨진 아이비가 어떤 점에서 특별한지 그리고 입학 지원 과정에는 어떻게 임하는 게 좋을지를 배웠는데요. 오늘은 5명의 숨겨진 아이비 학생들과 이야기를 나누며 그들의 대학 경험을 들어보겠습니다. 시카고 대학교에서 생물학을 전공한 티파니 김씨, 라이스 대학교에서 역사학을 전공하는 빅터 웬씨, 포모나 칼리지에서 물리학을 전공하는 아델 마이어스 씨, 튤레인 대학교에서 국제학을 전공하는 트레이존 쉐이터 씨, 그리넬 컬리지에서 컴퓨터공학과 경제학을 전공하는 쿠레 류타 씨를 모셨습니다. 이 야심찬 학생들에게서 더 많은 걸 배울 준비 되셨나요? 함께 가시죠. 저는 미국 미시간 대학교에서 경제학을 공부하며 유학생활을 시작한 이현진입니다. 여러분과 함께 미국에서의 대학 생활을 엿보며 학생과 교직원을 직접 만나 더 깊은 이야기를 들어보려고 합니다. 미국 명문 대학들을 탐방할 준비가 되셨나요? 그럼 출발합니다. 미국을 직접 방문할 수가 없는 유학생들은 수많은 미국의 컬리지와 대학교를 알아보기가 참 어려운데요. 인터넷을 통해 최상위 학교를 검색하고 가상 투어를 하고 입학 담당자와 전화를 하는 것 외에도 그 학교를 알 수 있는 가장 좋은 방법 중 하나는 바로 학생들과 이야기하는 것이라는 걸 알게 됐답니다. Thank you for being here today. So to start out, I want to hear a bit from everyone about what makes their college or university the best. Adele, why don't you start?
Pomona College is my favorite place in the entire world because you have the balance between the liberal arts education where no class is going to be bigger than about 30 students, but at the same time, if you get tired of the small, comfortable environment, then you can walk across the street and meet people completely new from the other schools at the 5C consortium because we actually share a big campus with 4 other schools. So you're not going to get bored.
5C 컨소시엄을 구성하는 5곳의 학부 컬리지는 입학이 까다롭고 전문화되어 있으며 약 8,500명의 학생이 재학하고 있습니다. 때문에 중간 규모 대학교와 비슷한 자원을 누리면서 소규모 컬리지의 개인에 대한 집중과 유연성도 경험할 수 있죠. What about you, Tiffany? You went to the largest university from this group. What can you tell us about the University of Chicago?
For the university, I think some of the defining features are our house system. And so if you're familiar with Harry Potter, they have houses. And we also have houses at the University of Chicago.
Better be Gryffindor!
You don't get sorted into them by a magic hat, but instead you kind of get randomly put into a house. You're gonna be in this community right away as soon as you get into campus, means that you can, 1, meet all these people, and 2, make these lifelong friends that you'll have kind of for the rest of your career at the college and the rest of your life as well.
Tiffany, you stole my line about Hogwarts, because Rice actually has a very similar system. That has to be the highlight of Rice University, our residential college system. That being said, Rice in particular has the big appeal of being a small, very tight-knit, very intimate campus. So you'll really get the chance to get to know your fellow students as well as access to professors. They're incredibly more accessible and open than at some larger schools and creating much more casual experiences and much more friendly interactions.
Yeah, love it. Trajan, tell us about Tulane. What makes it different?
Yeah, I'll take it. I'd say Tulane University was the first in the country to integrate public service into its core curriculum. And this was introduced to the university after Hurricane Katrina.
We're getting ripped here with the backside, if you will, of Katrina on the western side.
And Tulane has always had such a large presence in the city, so it was super important to just play a big role in that city.
트레이존 씨가 말했듯이 튤레인대의 교수와 학생은 뉴올리언스의 복구에 중요한 역할을 했습니다. 도시 복구를 돕기 위해 6만 시간이 넘는 봉사활동을 한 것이죠.
Our motto is being not for oneself, but for one's own. So just being very selfless and always lending a helping hand.
Thanks for sharing, Trejon. Rita, tell us about what makes Grinnell College special to you.
We have all students represented from 50 states, and we also have 69 countries represented at the college. So, absolutely amazing diversity that we have here. And just being able to talk to people from very different backgrounds has really allowed me to really grow as a person and learn so much about different cultures and different backgrounds. And yeah, it's honestly an amazing opportunity here. And I'll say Grinnell has produced some really incredible alums. So for instance, Robert Noyes, who is the founder of Intel, and he is absolutely amazing and really giving back to the college, and our science building is named after him. And the mentor of Warren Buffett, who is Joe Rosenfield, he is also a graduate from Grinnell, and that's really the reason why Grinnell has such an incredible endowment. That's one of the main reasons why I decided to choose Grinnell. It's because the college is so resourceful, and it really gives you a lot of opportunities to explore a lot of different options.
미국 내 수천 개의 학교 중에서 똑같은 것은 단 하나도 없습니다. 개설된 학과, 신입생 모집 규모, 이름 있는 동문, 그리고 순위에서 다름을 확인할 수 있죠. 하지만 가장 뚜렷한 차이는 아마도 학생들이 학교에 직접 가서 경험했을 때 드러날 겁니다. Tiffany, Victor, and Trajan, you all studied in big cities, and Rita, you studied in a small town, and Adele, you were in a suburban community. Tell me about the pros and cons of going to college in these different types of settings.
I'm a big history junkie, and New Orleans has so much history. And I feel like there's endless opportunities that lots of students take advantage of. But the thing I really appreciate about Tulane is lots of people would think, okay, New Orleans, there's a lot going on. Students are constantly going off campus to be in the city because there's nothing there at Tulane. And that is completely the opposite. We like to say, New Orleans is nothing without Tulane, and Tulane is nothing without New Orleans. It's very intertwined. The city and the university have really kind of grown together, and there's such an amazing on-campus experience too that students really embrace and value. But it's cool to have that balance. You can have an amazing on-campus experience, but also get to explore the city as well.
I really love the way that Trajan talks about New Orleans, the diversity of people, because I think I see those same things about Chicago. Chicago is a city of neighborhoods, and every neighborhood is entirely different. And that's why I love exploring the city, because you can pick a new neighborhood and you enter a whole new world. And so I really appreciate not only the food scene, but the cultural scene of Chicago. And that's, I think, one of the great advantages of living in an urban area. That's definitely something I've enjoyed throughout my 4 years, and I hope to enjoy for the rest of my life.
I'd love to hear from Utah here, because Grinnell is in a small town in Iowa.
So I'll say, from a big city myself, one of the things I always really noticed was, there's always so much going on in a big city, and, it can honestly cause me a lot of distractions in a lot of ways. So at Grinnell, in a very rural setting, I was always able to, really focus on this one thing for a very, very long period of time. And so, for instance, with my research, I was able to do it for 2 years. And, the reason I was able to do this was because of the fact that, there wasn't distractions around me, and I'm really able to stay calm and be able to, commit to that one goal and accelerate. And so I would really say, this kind of, commitment really was solidified because of the, the rural location and, being able to commit to this one goal for a really long time at Grinnell.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Next, I want to talk about what there is to do on campus beyond studying, and what you all like to do there.
I really value the idea that You're a student and you learn in the classroom, but you also do a lot of learning outside the classroom. And UChicago does a really nice job of fostering that learning outside the classroom, whether it be internship opportunities, career opportunities, whether it be extracurriculars like clubs. On campus, we call them RSOs, or recognized student organizations. It's really fancy schmancy, but it really just means clubs. In all these avenues and channels, you're able to really develop your personal and academic interests across all sorts of aspects and fields.
Victor, I know you're very involved on campus. So what makes Rice University's own campus experience distinct?
Rice just has so much to do. Just among some of the things that I know I've done, I've been a DJ for our campus college radio station, the first and only college radio station in the Houston area, KTRU 96.1 FM. In terms of athletics, we are also a D1 school. We are one of the smallest D1 FBS schools in the entire nation. Again, while we may not perform as well, the memories that are made are iconic. For those of y'all that follow American football, you may have heard of Rice this past season. We are the notorious quadruple doink school. That's us.
NCAA 디비전 1에 속한 라이스 대학교는 대학 미식축구 최상위 리그에서 경기하는 가장 작은 학교 중 하나입니다. 하지만 그런 최상위 리그에서도 실수는 일어나죠. 필드골을 시도하던 라이스 대학교의 키커가 놀라운 업적을 달성했는데요. 좋은 쪽은 아니었다네요.
From 45 yards, the kick is up. It is off the upright and out! It hit the upright twice, then the crossbar and stayed out. Stunning.
This is unbelievable.
It was truly heartbreaking. We eventually lost that game too, but memories made all the time.
That's amazing. Speaking of athletics, we have a student athlete in our midst. Adele, tell us a bit about your experience pursuing both academics and swimming at a competitive school like Pomona.
I actually wasn't sure if I wanted to do athletics at Pomona because academics was my number one priority, but my mom actually told me that I should just try it out for a week. So I got to campus and a few weeks in, the swim season started and I tried it out for a week. And the people I met on the swim team were my favorite people. So I've really enjoyed the swim team because it's been my community. It's been my community as I've gone through tough finals week or if I'm going through a really hard week in school. They have been the people who I've gone back to and they've just made me feel like I'm at home and made me feel like I'm a part of something, and that's a pretty fun environment.
아델 씨가 느꼈던 것처럼 때로는 학업 외 활동으로 공부에 필요한 응원과 격려를 얻기도 합니다. 어떤 이들에게는 그게 동아리 활동일 수도 있고 교내 스포츠 클럽일 수도 있고 봉사 활동일 수도 있죠. 짧은 휴식이 삶의 균형에 얼마나 도움이 되는지 알면 놀라실걸요. Next, I want you all to take a few seconds to write down on a piece of paper a single word or phrase that sums up what you love about your school. So if you could distill it all down, what would it be? All right, let's start with Tiffany. Tell us more about what you chose to write down.
When you initially apply to the university, you encounter these application essay prompts that are called the uncommon questions. And the reason they're so uncommon is because when you're writing college essays, it's all the same thing. It's like, tell us about yourself. Like, tell us about a challenge you've overcome. And they're very personal essays, but they can get very tiring. And so when I applied to the University of Chicago, I was actually, for the first time, excited to write a college essay because the questions are so outside of the box. A great example is like, where's Waldo really? Or find X. And that's like the whole prompt. And that's what's so cool about UChicago is that literally every student here read these uncommon out of the box essay questions and were like, I'm so excited to write this. Like, I can't wait to like write about these crazy questions. And that means every student is so interesting and multifaceted in their own way. And you bring them all together into one campus. And it's one of the reasons why I think the experience at UChicago is uncommon, in the best and most positive way possible.
I wrote multifaceted, and I feel like coming to Tulane, there's not just one signature thing that makes a person like a Tulanean. Like, kids you meet on campus are coming from all over the country, have an array of interests. It truly is multifaceted, and I think that's the beauty of Tulane, being able to just meet so many kids who have so many interests, and then on top of that, Tulane caters to that. So I think all of that together with Tulane, New Orleans, and the type of student that comes here, it is multifaceted. There's endless things that you can engage in and explore and encounter, and I think that's what really makes Tulane amazing.
I would say that the reason why I would consider Grinnell as very, very inclusive, it's really because of the fact that when myself, I am actually half Japanese and half Chinese. So in a lot of ways, I always struggle with the cultural identity in a lot of ways. And Grinnell is really the place that really boosted my confidence and really included me into their community. And I've always really appreciated that. I would say at Grinnell, we really foster this culture of, we have to get to the goal line together. And that's really one thing I really appreciate, because the best students in the class, they won't use their grades to back to you, and they won't let you bring you down just by showing that they got a perfect score on their quizzes or tests, but instead they'll come back and turn back and support the students who are really struggling in that class, and really the spirit of we can pass this class all together. And so it's really this kind of spirit that really moves me when I'm here, and that's always something I always appreciate as an international student.
The people that I've met at Pomona have been the warmest, kindest, most wonderful people that I have ever met in my life. Wherever you go on campus, there's a friendly face that wants you to succeed, wants to see you happy, wants to see you grow. Wherever you go on campus, you're always met with a smile and genuine kindness. And that's something that I really, really appreciate about Pomona.
Wow, these are such great answers. Victor, you wrote culture of care. What does that mean to you?
So culture of care pertains to the Rice community and just the general attitude of the entire campus that you're about to join. We as Rice Owls look out for each other, no matter what, in any context whatsoever. Academically, we're a collaborative campus. We still compete with each other, but it's not necessarily cutthroat. We're going to be looking out for our fellow classmates to make sure that nobody's really falling behind, and that everyone can get through the classes in order to get to their goals, their future, whatever they're working towards. We're going to be looking to pick each other up and make sure that we're okay. So that culture of care begins as soon as you step onto campus. You will experience that immediately once orientation starts, and it'll continue all throughout the rest of your life. If you're willing to engage with it, we've got each other's backs as Rice Owls.
칼리지나 대학교를 선택하는 건 중요한 일입니다. 대다수의 경우 얼마나 잘 맞는지가 그 선택을 좌우하죠. 내가 이 학교와 잘 맞을까? 이 학교가 나와 잘 맞을까? 드레이 존 씨에게는 사회봉사라는 툴레인대의 사명이 가진 걸 나누고자 하는 자신의 열정과 잘 맞았습니다. 아델 씨는 이공계 여성으로서 힘을 실어주는 친밀한 분위기에서 공부할 수 있었죠. 빅터 씨는 활기차고 끈끈하며 열정적이고 서로 챙겨주는 공동체를 만났습니다. 류타 씨는 자신의 관심사를 탐구하고 자신의 능력 발전에 집중할 공간을 발견했죠. 티파니 씨는 특별한 사람이 가득한 도시를 찾아냈습니다. 이것은 그들의 이야기입니다. 여러분은 대학에 가면 과연 어떤 것을 발견하게 될까요?